welcome to my channel, Haylee Marie Vintage. Today I have just a vintage clothing haul. This is about everything I've picked up since February, so about the last 6 months. I buy clothing pretty slowly these days because I'm pretty picky, and also I like to mostly buy in person and not online, so it just takes me a while to find all these things. The way this goes, I'm going to go through bottoms, tops, and then dresses, overalls, whatever else might be in store. First up, I have a couple pairs of, the brand is actually Shenanigans. This is a, I think, large and extra large. Their sizing is obviously quite small. I have no idea when Shenanigans actually existed as a clothing brand, but I thrifted one of their pairs of shorts last summer or maybe last fall, and I've been living in them, so I wanted a couple other pairs to like go with it. So I have this one and then this one here, just two pretty big different color variations that I thought would be cute to have. And also I have to wash them sometimes, and then I'm annoyed that I don't have another pair on hand. So yeah, I'm excited about these. I will say I wore these ones to the farmer's market this morning, and they definitely are not for having heavy things in the pocket. They start to come down a little bit, which I think these are the biggest size I got. Yeah, with it being the XL. That's like not necessarily the most surprising thing ever. And then this pair, the large, I haven't worn around yet, but I'm sure they'll work great. They already like look significantly tighter. I just picked them up because I just felt like I needed a comfy elastic waist short to like walk around farmers markets and run to the grocery store and do stuff like that in. So I picked those up. And then next up I have a couple skirts. I have this really cute one from Glenna's. It's a like little plaid skirt that's like burgundy and navy, and I liked it because it has this little like wrap style to it with these little clasps and the little fringe right here, and I just feel pretty cute in it. It does have a couple of moth holes, which is fine. This brand is Pitlochry, spelled Pitlochry, just in case you want to see if you can hunt anything down like it. I feel like it's helpful to have the brand, and a reminder that the shorts brand was Shenanigans, which makes it really easy to hunt down. I can tell you approximately right now there are 5 listed on the internet because I have a close eye on the Shenanigans shorts. Next up, I was so pumped when I found this. So I found this in a vintage shop in Denver, and I want to say it was less than $100. I was confounded that this was as inexpensive. I mean, it was expensive, but as inexpensive as it was, because look at it, there are cats. I am almost 90% sure I have already shown this on my channel, but according to my spreadsheet, I have not. So if this is not new, I guess awkward, but if it is new to you, just look at how cute they are. They're these little sleeping cats all tucked up in their bed, and I love it so much, and I saw it and I had to have it, and it fits me really well. When I got it, it was slightly too big for me, but now it is perfect, and I get to wear these cute little kitties. Next up, we'll kind of go into tops, starting with a shawl. This is just a like triangle-esque, piano-esque shawl. I would guess this is like 90s. It's not that old. I picked it up at Glenna's, so she gave me a screaming deal on it, and it's something I can just wear around in the summer when I need a little bit more than nothing, but not so much that I need like a jacket or anything like that. So it's great for that. I'm keeping it like hung up on my pegboard, so that way it's just like around and ready for me to wear. Because yeah, sometimes I just need that little extra something on my way out the door. Next up in the tops divisions, I've been searching specifically. I know Pendleton sold these, and then I think Ann Taylor did as well. I don't know exactly what decade they sold these in, but they're these nylon and silk blend shirts that are knit, and I just find I like these a lot better than cotton. I find they wash better. I find they hold better, and I find like personally for my own sensory things, I really like them. Not to say that I won't wear obviously the cotton ones because they're easier to find, but when I'm looking for something that's not cotton and not polyester, this silk nylon blend works really well for me, and this one came in a really cute pattern. I'm currently stocking quite a few of these on Poshmark to try to add to my collection, because like with knits, I don't really necessarily sew with knits very often, and pieces like these are actually like made in a way that I don't even know if I could make something like this. So I have been trying to pick these up. I really like this blend. I really like wearing it. I don't sweat too much in it, and it's pretty comfy. Opposite of comfy, I can't find the lacing for this, but there is usually lacing. This is just a rubber corset that I also picked up at Glenna's a while ago. I picked up this rubber corset to like wear over things. I don't actually really know what I'm doing with it. I probably need to declutter this to some friends, because I don't know that this is gonna like fit into my wardrobe that easily, but it is really cute, and it's like fairly large large on me, so it's pretty comfortable as well. And actually it's like really, really multi-sized, but it's a really great piece. And like, I feel like there's a lot of really fun costuming things I could do with it, and I just haven't. I'm not gonna model this for you because it is like been holding steady at 85 degrees in Seattle for a few weeks now. So the idea of putting this on with like a long sleeve shirt and a skirt and all these layers and going out in the heat is not appealing, but that's how I would style it. Is I would style it with kind of like a piratey or peasanty 70s blouse, and then probably like a high-waisted skirt and probably like my black Victorian-esque boots. The idea of how hot it's been and wearing this outside makes me want to die. Sorry, I can't show you how I'd style this one, but I promise it's super cute. Ooh, this is not my favorite, but it's up there in like how much I love this. Let me real quick button it a tiny bit. So this is a blouse that is lacy with like these cute little hearts on the blouse. I got this from an Etsy vintage shop in the UK actually. I very rarely will order things that are that far away. I try to keep my vintage local to the US, but once I saw this, I knew I had to have it. It works really great with a bunch of my overalls. It's really, really cute with the little kind of like heart doilies and like the big collar with the ruffles. This is a really fantastic piece. In case it's helpful, the brand is Alphorn, Alphorn. And it's so cute. It has little shoulder pads in it. It's definitely not 100% cotton, but it's at least a cotton blend. I feel like a lot of the blouses like in this aesthetic are pretty polyestery, so I was pretty happy with the like feeling of this one. It's really, really cute. It's actually one of, I think, my favorite pieces in my wardrobe right now. Whenever I need a layering piece that can have a big collar, this is what I go for. It's particularly my favorite with some overalls that I have. And speaking of overalls, my next piece is actually a brand of overalls. These are actually slow fashion. So I have been trying to thrift overalls for a really long time. I haven't come across anything that fits me right. When I look for vintage overalls, we're looking at 120 to like 100 and 200 and like so much money. Vintage overalls are really expensive right now, I think, because they're really trendy. So I decided to go the slow fashion route. I think these were around 115 with the discounts that I got. The brand is Offends. They're out of Australia. I read through all their different statements and things, and I felt pretty okay buying from them, especially because my goal with this pair of overalls is this be the only pair of overalls I really buy as an adult, and that I will wear them until they fall apart. So with that intention, these are actually, I don't know if you can tell, kind of big for me, because what was really important to me in this pair of overalls that I'm finding annoying in my other pair of overalls is they just are not loose on my hips. So I bought this size specifically around my hip measurement, which puts me solidly in the size large, even though my torso is usually like a size small. So these are pretty big on me. However, my plan is I'm not going to move the official Offends buttons because I don't want to like damage them. Even like use a similar overall button, I don't want to put a puncture somewhere that's not reinforced. So I'm just going to sew on some normal buttons and have these kind of like shift to the smaller waist, but they fit me perfectly in the hips. I have enough room to like garden, pottery, whatever it is I'm going to do in these. They just definitely are not fitting my waist, and right now when I wear them you can see straight down my pant leg, so I have to fix that. And so I will say I found these like pretty true to size measurement wise on the Offend site, so if you do buy from them, I would just recommend like going with your normal size. I think a medium would have been fine in these, but I can make a large work, and ultimately I think a large will give me a longer lifespan on them. Next up, I have this little dress that I picked up online somewhere. Actually, I think this was, what's the thread up? Well, the main reason I ended up here is I was looking specifically for the designer, which is Sue Wong. I saw either like a TikTok or an Instagram of somebody wearing one of her dresses, and I thought the way that she had things cut on the bias and the patterns she used was super cute. So I just kind of stalked ThredUp until I saw the right one, and this one has these beautiful dandelions embroidered on them with like little beads and sequins. They're really, really cute. So I thought this would be a pretty cute dress for me to pick up on days where I'm trying to look like a little bit, I know the 90s is like not making me necessarily look modern and normal, but for days where I just want to be a little less like 1930s through 70s fruity, when I want to, you know, maybe be a little bit more like 1990s vampire, which this is still poor because this is so girly, but you know, you get the vibe. And I think it looks super cute on me, and honestly, again, it's fun to just have something kind of stretchy and a little bit more comfortable in my wardrobe. Next up, we have another slow fashion brand that I think is a slow fashion brand. So I'm gonna talk through this brand quite a bit, but first let me show you the dress. This is the dress. It's really, really cute. It has these like hikes in it. It has pockets. It's really, really, really quite quality made. I will say the linen's like a lower quality than when I'm sewing the linen that I like to pick up. It's definitely like lower quality than that, but like it's pretty rare. You're gonna find like clothing made up with fabrics that are as high quality as what you would sew with. If you're picky with what you sew with, like I am. I was pretty impressed. I'm pretty sure everything's either a bound or a French seamed. So everything is made really quite nicely in here. So it's really, 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 really high quality and really, really, really well made. And that brand is Linen Naive. However, where I'm going to, I don't want to say like take away points, is when I got this package, I was quite surprised to find it coming out of China. And it's not that there aren't slow fashion and really, really fantastic brands out of China. There absolutely are, but the way this was branded made me believe it was a European company. And then when I went on their website, there was nowhere where I could find that they were located in China, and something about that just feels off to me. However, the quality of the sewing on this makes me feel like it is slow fashion, as well as a lot of complaints with them that I've seen are that they don't always have the dress ready to ship. Like sometimes they're sewing more on demand, which is a marker of a slow fashion brand. They also only release 10 styles maybe every few months, which is another great sign for a slow fashion brand. But the way they talk about like the linen and the wool all being from European countries and then don't disclose that they're actually located in China just sits a little weird with me. So it's not that I like would 100% not recommend this brand, but I also wouldn't 100% recommend them either, because there's just a few things there that just feel a little bit off. And like I try to give them credit because there's a lot of xenophobic feelings towards brands out of China, which is why they might want to disguise their locations. But just to me, in general, any brand that isn't being transparent about something as simple as their location is likely not being as transparent around their labor as they claim to be, because they claim to be like fair trade, but I couldn't find any like fair trade certifications. I don't know that I personally would buy from this brand in the future because of all of these things. However, I am really happy with this dress. This dress is going to last me a really long time because of the reviews, and I read about it running small. I actually ordered one size I would say too big, but because of the lacing in the back, it's pretty easy to scale it back down and still feel cute and good in it. Yeah, just kind of like a lot of feelings on these brands, but like I just want to encourage you guys. I'm somebody who thinks a lot about slow fashion and not buying fast fashion and not buying from forced labor manufacturers, and I still feel like I maybe got tricked by this brand. So just understand that like you aren't going to get 100% right all of the time, and this could still be a slow fashion brand that is just trying to avoid the xenophobia of them being a Chinese brand. So yeah, I don't know. I definitely have a lot of feelings, and I can't 100% recommend to this brand. However, I can say without a doubt this brand is better than your like super fast fashions. So I don't know, take that for what you will. It's still a quality garment that I think is going to last a really long time. And yeah, and it wasn't cheap, by the way, either. This was I was good last month with my budget, so then I spent my leftover budget on this, which maybe means I was not that good last month. But it was expensive. I think it was like around $160, $170. Trying to buy clothing ethically is just really challenging, and that's kind of just the way it is right now. Next up, we're into our last two, which are a pair of gunny sacks. It's really interesting. Gunny sacks must be going out of fashion again right now, because I've noticed they have actually decreased in price by a lot in like the last 6 to 8 months. It used to be I couldn't find anything from under $200, and I believe I bought both of these for under $200. And in previous like years where gunny sacks has been super popular, these have definitely been hovering like these styles around like more like the $300 to $400 to even $500 mark. So I was pretty excited to pick these up. This first one is this beautiful cream rose dress with this little blue velvet bodice moment, and it's just really, really cute. I feel really cute in it. I feel really good in it. I don't really have, I guess, too much more than that to say about it. And then the next and last piece I'm showing you is a gunny sacks that has been on my to buy list for a really long time, but it's never been in the price range I desired. It's this beautiful Renaissance style teal velvet lace cotton. Beautiful moment. It's a size 11, so it does fit a little better, except for in the wrists. In general, I don't know if I just happen to hold more weight in my limbs than some people, but as a result, when I do wear these, I have to wear them kind of low, and usually it's almost Got it. What a kind of embarrassing way to wear gunny sacks. It's almost like, remember those sweaters in, what year was that? Like the 2000s, maybe it was the 2010s where you like stuck your little finger, your thumb through the sweater. I feel like when I wear these, I'm like wearing it like this in a very like funny Y2K emo girl way. But that's how I have to wear these. They don't fit. I can't get this part much further up my arm. However, other than that, it fits absolutely perfectly. And like I said, I feel really good in this. And I actually used a different hemming technique with this. I have to hem pretty much all gunny sacks. I sit at about 5'3", and I feel like when I try these on, these are made for like 5'7". These are, I feel like, tall girl dresses. So to try to do something a little different with the hem, instead of bringing it up down here at the hem like you normally would, you know, like the tuck and roll, I felt like it was going to make this ruffle look really short and stumpy because I ended up bringing this up almost 4 inches. So instead, I used the Victorian pleating method. I guess I don't know if that's Victorian. I am well aware that they used it in Victorian times. I am sure they used it well before that. But basically, you make these little decorative pleats that bring the dress up, and then as you grow, you can let them back down. But it's really, really cute, and I think it's a like nice added detail to this dress that like makes this dress even better. And it's always really exciting when you can make clothing adjustments to pieces you love that also like enhance the piece, as opposed to like taking away fabric or doing something you can't reverse. Not only is like that bit reversible, but it's also stylish. And again, this has just been a gunny sack that had been on my list for a long time. It's not an uncommon version. There are like slight color variations and some slight like cut variations. I'd always wanted this like teal kind of Renaissance style, so I was ecstatic when I was able to find it for under $200. Right now, I'm like trying to pull back from collecting too many gunny sacks because they are like cheaper than they have been for a long time, but they're still really expensive, and I do have a budget, so I only have picked up these two, even though I've looked at and coveted many gunny sacks. I think that wraps up this haul. Hopefully it was interesting for you guys to see what I've picked up, kind of seeing the 2 modern pieces that I picked up that are slow fashion brands is like helpful for you, because like it is really challenging to see through the greenwashing and actually buy something that you can feel comfortable coming from ethical sources. So yeah, I feel like you saw like a successful version of that, except for it was then a size off, and then you also saw a potential failure in that, even though again, I don't know that they're not slow fashion, I just know that they were not transparent about something, and that makes me uncomfortable. But yeah, that is it. I will be back next week with a sewing project as per usual. So I will see you next Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Bye!